guys, so let's talk about bilateral versus unilateral contracts. This is something that confuses a lot of people on the real estate exam. They forget the difference between the two, but it's pretty simple if you think about it this way. In a bilateral contract, both parties are required to do something. So if I write an offer to buy your house and you accept it, now we've got a contract. And you're going to sell me your house for X amount of dollars, and I'm going to buy your house for X amount of dollars. We both have to take an action to make that happen. We're both on the hook. We're both obligated to one another. Let's take another example of this. And the example of a listing agent. If I'm a listing agent going out to list your house for sale, I come out, I meet with you, I talk to you about all the great things that I can do for you as an agent. You think I'm wonderful, you agree to sign up with me. And so what happens then? We sign a listing contract, okay? That's a bilateral contract. We have on the one side, the seller who's going to make his house available for me to show it and hopefully sell it. And on the other side, we have the agent who's going to go out and try to find the perfect buyer for this home and get this deal closed. That's a bilateral contract. We're both performing together. But those are a little bit more obvious, but there's one that's a little bit less obvious, and that's the unilateral contract. That one's a little confusing. And remember, a unicycle has one wheel. So bicycle has two, unicycle has one. If we think of a unilateral contract, one person needs to act. So there's two parties in the contract, but only one of them is required to do something. The other one could do something, but doesn't have to. So let me give you an example of this to make it make more sense. If I am giving an option contract to you, I'm telling you, listen, I'm going to give you 90 days to decide whether or not you would like to buy my house for $100,000. And you say, sure, sounds good. We've entered into an option contract. An option contract is a great example of a unilateral contract. If during that 90 days, you decide to buy my house, I've got to sell it to you. I've made that obligation to myself, right? But you, as the person holding the option, don't have to buy it. If 90 days goes by and you decide, yeah, I don't really care for this house anymore, I don't want it, whatever reason, it's not going to work out for me, you don't have to act. So only one party is obligated there. That's the person giving the option to someone else. So when you've received an option on a house, you have an option to buy it, but no obligation. But the person who gave you the option has an obligation to wait to see what you're going to do. He can't just go out and sell the house to someone else during the option period. Another example of a unilateral contract is an open listing. Say that I'm a for sale by owner and I want to sell my house, but I don't want to alienate any of buyer's agents or people who might be working with an agent who are buyers. I want to make sure everybody knows that, hey, I'm willing to pay the buyer's agent's commission. I'm not going to cut you out of the deal here, but I'm a for sale by owner and nobody's representing me. So I put an ad on Craigslist or, Facebook, wherever I want to put it out there to the world that I have this house for sale. And in my ad, I say, listen, I'm a for sale by owner, but if you're a buyer with an agent or a buyer's agent who sees this, who has a buyer in mind, and you want to bring somebody to my house and sell it for me, I'll pay the commission. And that is a unilateral contract as well. I've made an offer out there to the world that agents who would like to bring me a buyer, I'm going to pay them. But if I'm an agent scrolling through Craigslist, looking through the ads, and I see your ad, because you're representing yourself, you're a for sale by owner, you have no relationship with me, I'm not obligated to act on that. I don't ever have to bring you a buyer. It's my choice.